I'm Trevor with Maker Experiment, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how I make my leather hat patches. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to do is actually show you the design of how I lay these out, and then I will show you how I actually machine them. So first up, let's check out the design. Here I have the logo design. So each one has a border that can be cut and the filled in black that will be engraved. The line weight for the stroke on this is set to 0.01 for my machine, and you'll see that I tiled them closely together to maximize my material. Also for this, the artboard size is actually set to the size of the leather piece of material that I will be using to make sure that I don't actually machine past the boundary of that material. I've also separated this into two separate layers in the event that I need to hide just the logos or just the cutting borders. For this project, I'm going to be making a total of 10 leather patches that are going to be used for hats. So this is actually a custom order that was placed, and the leather that I'm going to be using for that is this, which is from District Leather Supply. It's a Veg Tan leather. Hopefully it'll machine out really nicely. And the first thing I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to mask it off, because when I go to laser cut this, I have a feeling that the face of it would get kind of a burnt look to it. So masking it will help eliminate that and make it just a cleaner look. So I'm going to go ahead and put some masking on this, and then I will throw it in the laser and we'll start machining out some patches. So for this, I actually have a roll of wide tape that I'm going to place over top and just press it down. Try to keep it even pressure over the whole thing. Once I have the tape on, I like to press it down firmly with one of these scrapers. This is actually from my vinyl cutting machine. Just go ahead and gently flatten it all out, make sure it's nice and snug. And then what I'm going to do is flip it over, and I'm going to trim away the extra masking tape. Now that the leather is prepped, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the machine, and we're going to, first I'm going to do a test run just to make sure that the settings are all right, and then I'll go ahead and machine all 10 and show you what they look like. Here's a little trick that I have found with working with leather is it's great to have the masking on while you are cutting it because it protects the edges. It's not so great when you're engraving it because then it gets kind of sticky from the adhesive on the tape. So what I do first is I laser cut out the actual patch. Then I go in and I peel off the masking tape from that piece of patch, and then I will go ahead and engrave it. So I did just laser cut them out. So here they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off the masking on each one of these. Then I'm going to put it back where it was cut out from and engrave them. So here they are with the masking peeled off. You will see that they do lift up a little bit. If they are bent a little too much, kind of like this one, you can actually take it out and just kind of work it the other way a little bit, and then when you put it back in its spot, it should lay flat. So if that's the case, you can do that to most of them. Just be careful that you don't bend it too far, and this will help your pieces lay flatter. All right, now you can see that they lay flat a lot better than they were before. So let's go ahead and engrave them. All right, so here are the finished patches. So I did a couple tests as well where you can see where I had adhesive on this one and it's very, very sticky. This one I left the adhesive on so you could see what it looked like in the process. You can tell where it didn't really engrave all the way through, but on the cutting it's fantastic because it protects the edges of all this flare up that happens. So the rest of the sheet, I went ahead and did it the way I normally do, which is where I cut them out first, then I peel off the masking, and then I engrave them. And they turn out really well. Depending on the type or color of leather you're using, your settings might be different than what I put in the description below. But it did turn out really nicely, and the client does love it. I already sent pictures to them so that they can see what it looks like. But that's how I go about making these leather patches. So they're actually going to add the holes in themselves to be able to sew them onto the hats. Otherwise, you can also laser cut the stitching pattern into it and do it that way. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the process of how I make the leather patches. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so that you know when I come out with a new video. And be sure to check out my Instagram @MakerExperiment, where I share these pictures and processes along the way. I want to thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.